Today I wanted to come on and show you the planner that I'm going to be using for me it's next school year because I'm a teacher. It is the 2026-2027 academic year planner, and this is called the Pray and Plan. It's by Teach for the Heart. I found this planner last year's, and I used this for the previous school year, and I really enjoyed using it. It is a little bigger, but there's some different options available. There's actually a mini. This is the lesson planner, and I use my planners hard, so that's why I chose this one again, because I can actually write down an outline of the day every day, which is what I do. I'm a special education teacher. I'm learning support. So what I do is I pull groups of students for reading, writing, and math based on age, ability, etc. So I have kids coming and going all day long throughout my room. So I need to be prepared. I need to be planned. So that's why I chose to get this planner again. So it is spiral bound. It has like a laminated cover here. I was a little worried about this cover last year if it was going to hold up, but it actually did. I should have kept my one from this year to show you, but I did not. But it held up really well. The corner got a little bit bent. I mean, but that's nothing. I mean, compared to because I use that thing hard like every single day. So it held up really well. The spiral did well. So I was really pleased with that. So this is the cover for this year. Hopefully you can see it without too much glare. And then on the back here, we have John 12:46 in the CSB translation, which I love as well. It's another plus. I have come as a light into the world that whoever believes in me should not abide in darkness. And then we have down here, Pray and Plan 2026-2027 by Teach for the Heart. And again, the spiral did really well for me. It stayed together. And I've had some others, like I used to use Happy Planners, and they're fine. Like there's nothing wrong with them, but the little discs would start to break. And I know you can get replacement ones, so it's a total first world problem. But this one held up better. And I like it because it's Pray and Plan, and it ties my faith into my job. So I love that. Okay, so I haven't written in this at all yet because I wanted to show you here. So again, I apologize for the glare. We'll soon be off this page. We have a place to put your name, school, room, email, any important information. And then we have how to use the Pray and Plan planner. So it talks about how it has a monthly calendar, memory verses, blank pages, a monthly free resource, which is a QR code you can scan during a certain month to access a free resource from Teach for the Heart. There are also prayer prompts, and those are monthly. And then for weekly, we have lesson plan pages, which is what I use the most in this. We have a year at a glance. We have student checklist or grade book. I don't really use that much, but you definitely could. Communication log and some custom pages. So custom pages are additional blank pages found at the back of the planner, and you can just do what you want with those. All right, so here is a calendar of the whole academic year. Here's a schedule, which I will fill that in probably closer to time. Unfortunately, I won't really know my schedule till at least probably August, early August, hopefully. Like I said, I have groups that come and go all day, so I have to find out who I'm having, what they need, etc. So I'll fill that in later. Definitely will use that, though. We have a year at a glance. For me as a special education teacher, I will often write in here when my IEPs are due. So I have a track. I have it online, too, but just so I can have it in front of me. You know, if anybody's due for reevaluation, etc., I'll put that in here. And then this is the free month resource. This is the month of July. Obviously, I'm probably not going to use July much because I won't be in school yet, but it's still nice to have. So July, word of the month is assurance. Rest assured that God will lead and guide you. A nice thick divider here. Very nice quality. And then you have a coloring page. I did some of these last year. I will admit I did not get to all of them. Very pretty, though. Nice touch. Nice little relaxing activity to do as you're working on your lesson planning and everything. All right, here's the monthly calendar. This is, again, obviously July. Got some little graphics you can color. You have lines here to write out a memory verse. Down here's a prayer prompt. Pray for his guidance about your job this year and surrender all the details to God. Great reminder. And then there's a spot over here for prayers and thanksgiving. All right, here are the lesson plan pages. These are the ones that I personally use the most. So, for example, this is June 29th. Here you have the boxes going across. Sorry for shaking the table. They're lined, which is a necessity for me. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So obviously you don't have the weekend in here because as an academic planner, you're mostly going to be planning during the 5-day work week. I like this, like I'll write down like here, this box will be like my group 1, my group 2, my group 3, and I'll write down like teaching main idea lesson with slides, workbook page 87 or whatever, you know, in each group. So that's how I just do an outline of my lesson plans. Obviously, you're not going to have room for like full lesson plans, at least I won't with the nature of my job and as many groups as I have in a day, but it just gives me an idea of this is the outline of the day, this is what I'm going to do today. And I do follow that and I usually check it off as I go too. So you're going to have these for every week. You're going to have a scripture verse up here, John 14:27 here. I think that's it for the month, but let me make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, so then at the end here, you're going to get a sheet of lined paper again. You're going to get an inspirational quote, and then you're going to get scanned for this month's free resource. And then I won't go through all of this because it's the same layout, but we'll get into August. Word of the month is fresh. Rejoice in the fresh start God has given you and trust him for all you need. And then there's the coloring sheet for August, which is a scripture too. I didn't mention that, but hopefully you can see it. This one's Psalm 118:24. You're going to get your monthly calendar, same layout as before, and then you're going to get your lesson plan pages. This model is exactly what I need because it has the monthly calendar, which again, I'll like put my faculty meetings, IEP meetings, etc. on there, and then I'll do my lesson plan outline on these pages. But like I said, there are other options. There's a mini, there's a deluxe. It has, I think, all of these resources, but then some more things as well. I'll link the website so you can check those out. There's one, I think, too, that's like all of this, but not the lesson plan pages. I forget what the names of them are, but you can check that out. If you don't want the weekly lesson plan pages, there are definitely smaller options if that's something that you don't need. For me, however, that's my whole point in getting the planner. All right, so at the end here, once we get to, it goes up to June of 2027, then we're going to get our student checklist. Several pages for that, and these are nice thick pages too. I use like gel pens and like more pens that are more like marker-ish too. So they don't bleed through, so it's been fine. There's a little show through if they're super heavy, but it's good paper. Like you're not going to have an issue with most pens that you use. If you use like a Sharpie, you might be able to see some through on the other side. It doesn't like bleed, but you can see a little shadowing. But it's great. I really enjoyed using mine this past year. All right, we have a communication log with date, student, and notes. Again, I love how there's scripture throughout the headings on every page. Just kind of keeps me grounded, you know, if I'm having an anxious day, just to have that in my planner right in front of me. And then you're going to get these lined pages at the end. There's a box for like the heading here, and then it's double column lined. I don't know if you can see that very well, but there's like 2 columns of lines on these pages. Okay, so there's several of those, and then you're going to get a page of this dotted lines here. If you can see that. Hopefully you can see it. Trust me when I say there's dotted lines if you can't see it. And then there's this pocket back here, like a folder, so that's nice. I've used that before, like if I have a couple papers I need to bring home with me, and I'll stick it back here. Now, obviously, you're not going to get like 200 sheets of paper in here or something crazy, but if I have, you know, an important document or something a paper I need to fill out that night, I'll put it in here and carry it home with me. It's a double-sided pocket as well, so that's helpful. And then we are at the end of the planner. So I definitely think I have found my work planner. As long as this is going to be produced, this is the one I'm going to get. I like it. The lesson planner is a little big and heavy, but I need that. Like I can't do a smaller option. So the nice thing is if you need a smaller option, they have that available. For me, it's just not an option because I need to have those lesson planning pages. So it works out. I love how it ties my faith into my job, and it's because I want my relationship with God, my faith to be a part of my every single day. I work in a public school, but I still want to take my faith with me wherever I go and stay grounded in that faith throughout my day, and let the light of Jesus shine to my students and everyone around me, and let them see Jesus in me. So this is just a helpful way for me to do that and to keep myself grounded in the Lord, no matter what I'm doing. So again, this is the Pray and Plan Planner. This is the 26-27 edition, and this is by Teach for the Heart. And I will link their website so you can check that out.